Am I the idiot for not donating my bone marrow to my birth father? I, male 17, am adopted. My birth parents weren't able to care for a newborn and I ended up in foster care because of it. I was adopted by my family when I was 2. I have a very happy life, one I likely wouldn't have with my birth parents. About a month ago, my birth parents got into contact with my family. Long story short, my birth father is sick and needs a bone marrow transplant. They are on a wait list but haven't heard back just yet. I am the only child they ever had and odds are I am a match. Pretty much they wanted my parents to get me tested and then donated my marrow to him. My parents told me that it's up to me and after some thought I said no. I don't know them other than they gave birth to me. They have had no part in my life whatsoever and now they suddenly need me. Well, they send my parents a nasty message saying they can sue to force me to donate my marrow. I do feel a little bad but I feel like this isn't my problem. Am I the idiot? Hey Reddit, sorry, right after I posted, I went to the store with my mom. Just wanted to clear up some things I read in the comments. I'm a boy but flattered some of you think I'm pretty enough to be a girl. I have no contact or anything with my birth parents. From what my parents told me, I was put into foster care when I was less than a month old. That is how they got me and they decided to adopt me, which was finalized when I turned 2. I have 4 siblings and I have a great life. They told me when I was old enough that I am adopted, but outside of that I had no idea who my birth parents were or what they even looked like. Someone said I should do it because what if I need medical information, want to get to know them, or something like that. Yeah, no. I have no desire to get to know these people. None. I have no desire to seek out grandparents, cousins and uncles. I don't want to know if some form of rare cancer runs in the family because they are not my family. I haven't spent 17 years of my life with them. Why would I want to get to know them? Edit for those of you who keep saying, you should reconsider it. How about you donate to him? My parents told me to think about it. I thought about it, and the answer was no. No. I'm not doing it. That's it. Morning Reddit. It's early, I'm getting ready for school while typing this. Read more comments this morning and again let me clear something all. My egg and sperm donors didn't lovingly give me up. I was taken. My parents don't know the exact reason because that information was never released to them. They were told, and I quote, "It wasn't a good environment for a child." I was taken. Even if they had given me up, it doesn't mean I owe them anything. Not like I asked to be born like every freaking child on this green earth. If being born means I am suddenly in debt to them, I would have been the slowest sperm you have ever seen. I would have happily raced into a sock. Y'all can be a bunch of hypocrites. In one breath you say there are kids in foster care who need a home. Well, I was a foster kid who was given a home by 2 loving parents. Then in the next breath you are saying, what about your family? I have a family. They have raised me for 17 years. Medical history? Some very helpful people have privately messaged me to let me know that in 2021, I get all that poop without ever having to speak to these people again. Ever. Amazing how far science has come, right? I'm going to be showing this to some of my friends today cause I have to admit, I'm over it. It's not my problem if this man dies. And again, some people have pointed out in the comments odds are I wouldn't be a match anyway, and he has been lucky getting a donor off the list, and it will be faster than waiting on me to get tested only to be told I'm not a match anyway. And again with those on your hill screaming, well, wouldn't you donate to a stranger? I donate blood mostly because it gets me out of PE class. I like donating blood. If someone receives that blood, then congratulations. I put no more thought into it besides that. Even if they had come to my parents and said, hey, you adopted our son and well, we need a favor. Sorry to ask, blah blah, my answer would have still been no. I did my own research and found plenty of stories of kids who were used like gold mines for their genetic materials by their parents to save their siblings or a family member, and that is all they were to their families. Someone who had the right match. I don't owe them anything. I don't care if she spent 8 hours in labor with me. They aren't my family. I have a wonderful family who are supporting me right now. Also, my parents are working on finding how the hell they even knew where I was cause my adoption was a closed one. They had their rights terminated when I was taken. They shouldn't know poop about me. I don't know if they are contacting a lawyer or anything. I know they are pretty upset about all of this. I have to get to school. Later. Now for a few comments before the update. Not the idiot. I donated bone marrow to my sister 5 years ago. It was no small thing. I had complications with the surgery, couldn't walk for 2 weeks, etc. It was really, really painful. I was going to give you sort of a pep talk about doing it anyway, since you would be potentially saving a life, even if it's the life of a complete stranger. That was until I read the line about how they threatened to sue you to force you to donate. Comment 2. Not the idiot, how dare they threaten you like that? They gave up all rights to you at birth and are now still not wanting a relationship, just for you to undergo a medical procedure to save his life. Way to go, guys. They could have asked to meet you so they could plead their case, but they went nuclear. Ignore them. Comment 3. You're the idiot, and let me tell you why. Your birth parents made a difficult decision when they couldn't care for you as a newborn. They reached out to your family because they are in desperate need of a bone marrow transplant. You are their only hope, their own flesh and blood. But instead of showing compassion and empathy, you're heartless and self-centered. You claim that you owe them nothing because they didn't raise you, but they gave you life. The fact that you're not even willing to get tested shows a complete lack of humanity. And to top it all off, you're arrogant enough to compare yourself to children who were used as gold mines for genetic materials. Your situation is completely different, and you know it. I hope one day you realize the gravity of your decision and the impact it has on another person's life. Now for the update. I know this is long overdue. I started college, life and COVID put things on hold for a bit. Long story short, I didn't donate the bone marrow. My birth parents started harassing my family on the regular, texts, phone calls, letters, showing up at places, resulting in calls to the police. They were arrested. My adoption had been closed. They used some shady private investigator to find me and basically just showed up on the doorstep demanding my bone marrow. My family did press charges. As of right now, as far as I am aware, they are still sitting in a prison cell while they wait for their day in court as things are still delayed due to COVID. I guess my sperm donor's illness wasn't that serious or he got a donation. I don't know. Anyway, I just thought I would update this old post. I'll answer questions if you have them. That's it. Edit. Someone asked why I was taken. Honestly, I still don't know the full story, nor do my parents. They said they asked but never got the full answer. The answer they told me was someone called the police and told them to do a welfare check on my sperm and egg donor, complaining they constantly heard a baby, aka me, crying. Drugs may have been involved, which my parents think so. I was placed in foster care and from there I was adopted. Why did they find me? My father feels they wanted money and the bone marrow story was a lie. We only base this off of the fact my sperm donor seems fine. We don't know if he got the bone marrow from someone else or whatever, but we think the story was made up in order to harass us and get money from my parents. We aren't rich. Just middle class. My mom has her business/stay-at-home mom while my dad is an electrician. Did I ever sign up to donate bone marrow? No. I did not. I'm not comfortable with that, but I still donate blood. What about genetics? I haven't gotten tested for anything yet. Other families? I don't care. During that time, someone reached out to me on Facebook claiming to be an aunt. I didn't reply to the message. Comment 1. My dad gave his brother marrow once. Now their DNA matches on testable levels, meaning if his brother decided to lead a life of crime, my dad could be blamed on DNA evidence. Comment 2. All the people who said, "Just give him some marrow, he's family," were freaking delusional. You did the right thing by ignoring them, since they were obviously unhinged. Your new family sounds amazing and I hope you're doing better now. Comment 3. For your information, it's pretty unlikely that you would match your dad. When my dad needed a bone marrow transplant, they didn't even bother testing my siblings or me because of how low the odds are. Siblings are likely to match each other, but usually not parents and children. Either they were chasing something like a 1 in 200 chance, or they were just using it as an excuse to harass you. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for calling my girlfriend selfish for refusing to learn sign language? My daughter Ruby was born mute. She can understand words, but we use sign language to communicate. While she can use her phone or write, obviously she prefers to sign. The issue is my girlfriend, Amanda. We've been dating for around 9 months, and introduced our children around 3 months ago. They don't know sign language, so communication with Ruby was awkward at first. She hates having to write or use her phone at home. So I taught Amanda some basic signs beforehand, and I've continued teaching her and Mia more in this time. Mia is getting a lot better actually. But Amanda has apparently decided it's too hard and refuses to learn anymore. She says that it's unnecessary since Ruby can understand her and communicate in other ways. While Ruby is usually willing to do that for them, she doesn't enjoy it and finds it frustrating. I told Amanda she's being selfish and lazy. That it's not fair to put all the effort on Ruby. It's one thing if she doesn't get it after years, but it's only been a few months. It's just ridiculous. We got into a fight over it, and she basically called me an idiot and said it's not her fault she struggles with it. But that doesn't mean just give up. If she wants to be in our life, it's the bare minimum effort to put in. I clearly think she's just being selfish, while she thinks I'm an idiot and unfair. I vented to my brother, and he agreed with Amanda. That I can't force her to learn and not everyone is good with language. And that Ruby doesn't need it, and I'm coddling her. I'm honestly still pissed off, but I do love Amanda. She's normally thoughtful and kind, and I guess it's possible it's just me being overprotective of Ruby. I think it's a reasonable expectation, but I'm starting to doubt myself. Now for a few comments before the update. Not the idiot. This should be a deal breaker for you. Then the original poster responded with, I've been thinking it might be. But my brother's reaction made me doubt myself. She's never been like this before, so it took me by surprise. Then someone else commented, your brother is in AH2. Asking for someone that I'm guessing you might see a future with to learn how to best communicate with your daughter is not coddling her, and she does in fact need to be able to communicate, but more importantly in a manner she feels most comfortable with, your daughter I mean. Asking a child to accommodate an adult is honestly one of the more entitled things I've heard. The fact that an adult is saying, this is too hard for me, do it how I want to, is troubling and something you should really consider before taking any further steps with Amanda. Comment 2. Not the idiot. Do you see a future with a woman who point-blank refuses to speak to your daughter? Then the original poster responded with, it's not that she refuses, they do have a way to talk. It's just not as preferred for her. Either way I think it's wrong. I was already thinking it was worth ending it. It's just my brother and her got in my head and I worried I was crazy. Now for the update. I want to thank everyone for the advice and responses. I definitely don't agree with everything, but I can see both sides. First, I do want to clear up some stuff. I'm not sure why so many people act like I sprung it on Amanda. I never said I did, and I certainly didn't. I told her upfront about Ruby and was clear that I expected a partner to be willing to put in the effort for her sake. Also, I never criticized Amanda for not being fluent. I had no expectation it would be easy or quick, hell I struggled at first. I've never insulted her or had issues with her progress. My only issue was that she refused to try anymore. While my words were immature, it was only after she basically said it wasn't worth learning sign language that I got upset and said it. I find the idea that it's too soon honestly strange. Wouldn't it be worse for us to be engaged or married before I know if she's willing to put in the effort for my daughter? I don't expect perfection, just for her to try. I understand that Ruby needs to be able to communicate in other ways. She has to go to school. But that doesn't mean she should be forced to stay at home. Besides all this, I did consider our relationship serious. I love Amanda. With that aside, I think it's mostly been resolved. Amanda came over and apologized for how she acted. She explained that she had been trying to hide how much she was struggling, and got frustrated seeing how quickly Mia was getting it while she understood nothing. Basically, Amanda was seeing how quickly and effortlessly I was getting close to Mia, and was feeling like she was useless with her lack of progress, especially knowing how important it was to me. We had a long talk about it. I apologized for my immature reaction and explained that it was always non-negotiable for me. And I brought up that if it would make her miserable and resentful, it may be better to separate. Amanda did not like that, and we talked about our relationship and expectations. I considered it serious the moment she met Ruby. While Amanda didn't see it quite the same way, she knew she wanted me in her life and understood that meant she had to try with Ruby. Amanda has decided to find her own professional teaching. She thinks it will be better for her frustration to show there than with Ruby or I. I'll keep teaching Mia, because she really enjoys it. It doesn't matter whether she is fluent, as long as she's trying. I know Ruby will appreciate the effort. For now, Ruby will still have to use other methods to communicate, she was anyway, but hopefully one day she won't have to. Unfortunately, my brother stands by what he says. He said that even though Amanda has given in, it was still unfair of me. That I'm lucky Amanda is willing to put up with it. I've honestly lost a lot of respect for him with all this. I don't understand how he can think that about Ruby and I. Still, overall I'd say it's gone well. Thanks for the advice, whichever way you lent. I think we'll be able to get through it. Comment 1. Interesting dilemma. I get where you are coming from and where your partner is coming from. It sounds like you resolved it. You are going to have to be very patient, as this sounds like it's going to take a long time for your partner to achieve though. Comment 2. Why does Ruby have to use different means of communication at school? There should be an interpreter if she needs it. In any case, let your GF know that it's always going to be easier for a younger kid to learn something than it is for her. But sign language works best for adults when they learn in a physical classroom over online. Look into your local community college or deaf community to see if there are classes. Then the original poster responded with, I think she technically could. But from what the school has said, this works better in terms of her learning, since she can understand and will need the skills in her life and whatnot. I'm not an education expert admittedly, so maybe I took their word too quickly. For the rest, I will do it. That makes sense. If you like this video, you'll probably like these too. Also, while you're here, please consider subscribing. It's your support that keeps this channel alive and allows me to make better and longer videos. Have a great day.